Hello everyone, my name is Young Falcon and welcome to our next gen showdown. Today, the Xbox Series S versus the Xbox Series X, and deciding which one is best for your friends or family, or maybe you came to this video on the fence about which one you should pick up. Well, never fear, I'm here to break things down for you with the specs and maybe give you some next gen tips to save you a couple bucks, but if you want to see all of that, you're gonna have to wait till the end of the video to listen in. Without further ado, I say we jump right into the Xbox Series S specs. This Xbox Series S boasts a whopping 4 teraflops of graphical performance, a custom 512GB SSD utilizing Xbox Velocity architecture, letting you run both your new and old Xbox games at blistering fast speeds, cutting down the old Xbox One's lazy load times from a minute, sometimes being a minute and 30 long, all the way to 10 seconds, being 5 seconds even, thanks to the power of those SSDs. This also allows the Xbox Series S to use the Xbox Quick Resume feature, letting you pick up and play exactly where you left off by the simple press of an A button, letting you cycle through about 5 or so games with no extra time loading into them. It's great stuff. The console focuses on 1440p 60 FPS to 120 FPS gaming. It will even have some next gen features like ray tracing, albeit a bit limited due to the GPU performance. The Series S comes in at $300 at the cost of lacking a disc drive. Which brings us to the Xbox Series X, which focuses on 4K gaming, delivering the most powerful performance possible with the humongous 12.4 teraflops of graphical power, a custom 1TB SSD, and of course with ray tracing and all the bells and whistles that offers with ray trace reflections and overall making the game look infinitely better than what it usually used to look like. This, along of course with the SSD and ray tracing, lets you run your 4K games at 60 to 120 frames per second, which makes your games not only look absolutely gorgeous but run extremely buttery smooth, which is a huge deal for console gaming. The Series X comes in at around $500. So first off, what should we avoid with next gen? Well, for starters, picking up those Xbox One branded consoles. This is for my parents out there. My confused guys are going to be running through the gambit coming Black Friday, searching online and all that jazz. Make sure you avoid at all costs the Xbox One branding. These consoles usually range from $300 to $500, being that with the Xbox One S and Xbox One X respectively, and it, as you can tell, costs the same amount as the Series S and Series X. So if you don't want to waste your money and have to upgrade all over again come next year, make sure you look out for that Series branding on the Xbox labels. You're looking for the Xbox Series S and X, not the Xbox One S and X. Okay guys? What if I owned an Xbox One last gen? Will you lose all your games? I know some of you guys might be asking. Thankfully not with the Xbox One at least. The Xbox Series consoles are going to be backwards compatible with a slew, almost I think 1,000 or something crazy like that, of Xbox One games, along with letting you still play your Xbox 360 and original Xbox titles. That's right, 3 generations of Xbox, all playable by just popping in a disc or downloading it off the Microsoft Store. This is absolutely massive, and yes, you even get to play them with some enhancements via the Xbox One X or delivery service that we previously had on the One X. So the Series X will get enhanced versions of those games too, which is awesome to see. Wait a second, I know some of you might be asking, games have been going up in price. I've seen the PS5 games are $70, what about the Xbox Series? Unfortunately, that is true as well. I know not everyone's happy with spending an extra $10 from the already $60 to $70 price tag, but that's just the cost of next gen. It's much more graphical power, it's a lot more bells and whistles moving, and developers gotta get paid. So I understand where you're coming from, but thankfully Microsoft has you covered with Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass lets you play any Xbox exclusive day one, along with a slew of other third-party titles, including games like EA Play titles, all for the low price of $24.99, or usually for newcomers starting out, wink wink all my new console owners out there, $1 to start out the month. This is an incredible deal, letting you play a wide gambit of all sorts of awesome games, from action adventure to RPG to first-person shooters. You guys get the gist. All on the Xbox series of consoles. And of course, if you have a Windows 10 PC, you can carry that Game Pass Ultimate subscription all the way over to there via the Xbox application. So some of you might be asking, what about those cross-gen titles? Games like Watch Dogs Legions, Assassin's Creed, Cyberpunk, will they have those free next-gen upgrades? And thankfully I can confirm they will. Through Xbox Smart Delivery, all you have to do is download or pop the disc in once again to instantly get access to all those next-generation features. Ray tracing, 4K 60, all of that. All you have to do is put your disc in. How insane is that? And from there, you're thrusted off into a wonderful world and ready to play with all those brand new bells and whistles with no extra costs. You mentioned something about an SSD. Will my old Xbox One hard drives work on these series consoles? And the answer to that is absolutely. You will be able to use your old hard drives directly on the Xbox Series consoles day one, no extra costs or benefits or any of that nonsense. At the cost of, well, speed. You will not have the benefits of the SSD, which allows you to do everything I described previously in the video, your quick loadings and your fast resume times. But the downside is to get another SSD is $219 for 1 terabyte via the Seagate expansion cards. So you are going to have to use another hard drive probably for quite some time, unless you don't mind ponying up another 200 plus just to get some extra space. It's the unfortunate nature of SSDs, they do tend to get a little bit expensive, although this is a tad bit too expensive for my taste. I hope they cut the price back soon, but it's first generation blunders, I suppose. It's just kind of how the nature of things are, so we'll have to wait it out and see what happens. So in total, if you're worried about the cost and don't have the 4K capable devices at your home and you just want to casually play some games or maybe get something for the kids to play Fortnite at some pretty high frame rates and they can still have an enjoyable time, and you're not trying to buy every single game on the market and all that, the Xbox Series S is perfect for you. Bundle it with Game Pass, and at $300, or honestly I guess $325-ish, you have an awesome console that lets you keep up to date with all of the next gen specs and features, while at the same time not breaking the bank at the cost of some graphical fidelity and not having that full gambit of 4K features. However, for enthusiasts like myself, and I know a ton of other people out there that already have the 4K displays and are getting really into setting up for a 4K experience, whether it be their home theater or console gaming, the Xbox Series X is perfect as it allows you to play your 4K games at 60 frames per second or up to 120, which is extremely fast response times and just beautiful, gorgeous, smooth motions, etc. And on top of all of that, it just looks really good and lets you set up your home theater to have the full HDR gambit as well, thanks to the added disk drive that the Series X has. So which one do I recommend personally? I would have to say the Series X. The simple graphical fidelity at 4K 60 is too much to pass up, even if you don't have that, I guess, next generation display. It's really nice to future-proof for things like that, and it's just a cool console to have. But hey, if that's not your cup of tea and you're, again, more of a casual guy, there's no shaming into the Series S, as it is a lot cheaper and a great gateway to get into next gen, and you won't feel left out from all the added benefits that the Series X owners or other computers are going to have via cross-platform. And that's going to do it for the Xbox Series S versus Xbox Series X breakdown. But before I go, I did mention to you guys that there was something to kind of get you into that next gen realm without breaking the bank, didn't I? And it's via Game Pass Ultimate and Project xCloud for the $24.99 a month, a very low price once again to enter in the next generation. And if you have an Android device, you can play 50 plus Project xCloud titles via game streaming directly onto your phone with just a controller. It has barely any latency, it looks really good, and if you have a stable internet connection, especially with 5 GHz, you're in for a really good time. And for the people out there that already own a console and you want to stream something, it also allows you to stream your console directly to your phone, again, with pretty low latency. This is predominantly used for single player experiences in my opinion, as online does add a little bit of too much lag when it comes to button-to-button interactions or moving around and things like that. But for more, again, casual players and you're just wanting to dip your toes in the next gen and see what's going on, this is a really great way to introduce yourself, and hopefully with due time you'll have enough money saved up to get into next generation gaming. And not only will you have enough money to save up, but you'll already have a Game Pass subscription on the way, allowing you instant access to 100 plus games. So without further ado, that's gonna end the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and check off that notification bell to make sure you keep it locked here with next gen tips, tricks, and most importantly reviews, so you could save your hard-earned cash and make sure you know exactly what to get come this holiday season, thanks to the content we're providing on the channel. My name is Young Falcon. Once again, I hope you all have a wonderful day, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.